Hello and happy Tuesday. Every Tuesday, I have the pleasure of dishing out your weekly dose of nutrition and wellness news for your mind and your body and your soul. And you are live with Sandra at It's All About Choices. And I hope that everybody is having a wonderful week so far. And I hope that you had a wonderful weekend. And for those who tune in live with me every day, I thank you so much for tuning in live with me. I look forward to our time together. Hopefully, you are taking a little break, having some lunch. And for those who are listening to the replay, I thank you for pausing, taking some time out just to get a little bit of news that will benefit your mind, your body, and your soul, as well as your family. And so we are really kicking off a brand new series called Fall in Love with Your Heart series. All right. We are in February. So the month of heart, the month of love, is also National Heart Health Month. And so this series is about protecting your heart, keeping it strong, and adding years to your life. And we're going to have a little fun with this. We're going to talk about dark chocolate today and how to enjoy it, the dark chocolate, in the heart healthy way. And so, just a little background, every year, Americans spend billions of dollars on chocolate. 22 billion or even more on chocolate. And Valentine's Day accounts for a decent percentage of this particular total. And so while heart-shaped candy boxes of candy may seem like the opposite of healthy, expert says it's less than about the occasional small indulgences and more about making good choices every day, good food choices every single day. And so a bite of dark chocolate a day is not only good for your heart, but it also may improve brain function, alleviate stress, and lower your risk of diabetes. Probably never thought that one, huh? So, calling all of my chocolate lovers, you don't want to miss this one. I'm dishing out three benefits of dark chocolate for both your heart and for overall health. And my Valentine's gift to you, I also am going to share some tips on how to find the best chocolate. Okay, because there's many of them out there. How do you know which ones to choose? And so, as you are tuning in, please feel free to say hello to me. You guys know that I love engagement. I love for people to chime in. So I'm gonna get my window set up so that I can see your comments. I love to see your comments. I love to see you guys tuning in, and as you tune in, just say hello to me. Say where you're tuning in from. And let's see here. We'll get this party started. So all right, let me mute that one. And so therefore now as I see your comments, I'm able to reply to you in real time, which is always a fun thing. So I love that engagement. So let me get to the point. Here we go. So now I have both windows set up. I'm able to see who you are. So give me a shout out and let's have some fun. So for those who don't know me, my name is Sandra Goltry. I am a registered dietitian. I'm also a certified personal trainer, and I am your accountability partner. So a fun one, a fun one. And my mission is simply to show people how to get food to work for them instead of working against them, because many people think foods or certain types of foods are the enemy, and they're really not. And so I take joy in adding a variety of different foods to clients' lists, taking away that avoidance list so that they can lose weight, so that they have more energy, feel better about themselves without dieting and feeling deprived. And so the goal is to build lifestyle habits that last the long haul, that spills over to your family members and it spills over to other areas of your life. And so I am extending the 2022 motto I had about breaking those food strongholds that many of us have. And in 2023, we're all about creating a lifestyle of self care. Okay. And so again, as you're tuning in, please feel free to say hello to me. Tell me where you're tuning in from. And hey, are you a chocolate lover? Let's talk about that. That's the first question that I have is, are you a chocolate lover? And what is your favorite if you have one? Okay. And I'll co-sign. I like German chocolate cake. So that's in the chocolate family. So it's not necessarily chocolate in the form of candy. So any form of chocolate. I like brownies as well. So name your chocolate of choice. Ice cream, even though it's a little different, but it still has the chocolate flavor. And so today's training, I'm going to share three benefits of chocolate. Okay, so for your heart and your overall health. So three benefits of chocolate for both your heart and your overall health. And before we close, I will help you to find the best type of chocolate. Okay, that will give you the most health benefits. And so let's start from the very beginning. What is dark chocolate? Okay, let's talk about what dark chocolate is. The simple answer is dark chocolate is produced by adding fat and sugar to pure cocoa. So that's kind of the simple answer. Most chocolate falls in three categories. So you have your milk chocolate, you have your dark chocolate, and you have your white chocolate. So milk chocolate is the most popular and around 10% pure or 10% cocoa liquor or pure cocoa mass. And then whereas you have your dark chocolate, which has a minimum of 35% cocoa liqueur. And then chocolate's darkness is determined by the portion of the cocoa solids made from cocoa beans mixed with cocoa butter and sugar. So, it's a little bit of a process that goes on here. Then you have white chocolate. And however, the white chocolate only contains the cocoa butter. And so there's no cocoa solids, there's no cocoa liqueur rather, and it's combined with sugar and other ingredients. And so for many people, they don't consider this real chocolate or chocolate at all. And so now, just kind of giving you a little background on chocolate, let's jump into a few heart healthy benefits of chocolate. Okay, and so let's start with getting the banner up here. Is heart health. Okay, so some scientific info behind the heart health. So dark chocolate, it contains phytonutrients. So some people may have heard of phytonutrients, but it's a substance that's found in plants, which is believed to help benefit humans' health and to prevent a variety of diseases. So and it's also called flavonoids. So you may have heard that, which are plant chemicals that act as antioxidants, and they play a role in cancer prevention, heart health, and weight loss. So that's where the health benefits come from the phytonutrients and the flavonoids. And so that is one health benefit. Another one is lowering your blood pressure and improving cholesterol levels. So it may improve blood flow, which in turn will lower your blood pressure. And so these flavonoids, remember the good stuff that comes from plants, in the dark chocolate can stimulate the endothelium. Okay, and this is the lining in your arteries, and it produces nitric oxide, which is a gas. And so this nitric oxide signals to the arteries to relax, which lowers the resistance of blood flow and therefore reduces your blood pressure. So that's kind of how it works. And this varies though from person to person. And so this is why plant-based foods such as whole grains, which are carbs, fruit, which are carbs, vegetables are important in an overall healthy eating pattern. And in addition to lean protein and heart healthy fats and low fat dairy. So all this stuff works together to help our bodies perform at its optimal. And so and how it helps with cholesterol is it raises our HDL, which I call happy cholesterol, and it protects our LDL from oxidation. And I consider the LDL, I say lousy cholesterol, from oxidation. And so oxidation is the breakdown of a chemical substance in the presence of oxygen. And so think cancer prevention. So that's really the big thing with oxidation. So that's a good thing as far as cancer prevention along with a healthy eating pattern and a healthy lifestyle. So it increases the good cholesterol, which carries the bad cholesterol away from your heart. And then it protects the bad cholesterol from damaging other tissues, hence oxidation, such as the lining of your arteries to your heart. So a little bit of scientific stuff there. But again, these are all heart health benefits. And so another benefit, let me see here. I see some comments here. Let's make sure I'm not missing any questions. Let's see here. I see a comment I wanted to see. Hello. So I see my husband's online. Thank you for tuning in. And so now we want to talk about reducing your risk of heart disease. And so let's see here. Wanted to check all my banners here. So I'm gonna go back to the previous one. So another benefit is reducing your heart disease risk. Okay. And so studies show that the compounds in dark chocolate appear to be highly protective against oxidation of LDL. So remember, protecting the bad cholesterol from damaging other tissues. So it's protective against the breakdown of LDL. In the long term, this will also cause much less cholesterol to be lodged into your arteries, okay, resulting in a lower risk of heart disease, okay? So basically reducing your risk of clogging your arteries, okay? So are you all surprised? So we get to the correct banner here. Are you all surprised to hear that some of these heart health benefits are from dark chocolate, okay? We hear that they have a a heart health benefit, but many of us don't really know how it helps. And so, or you may question, or maybe have you even questioned its benefits in the past. So, but just know, but we still have to have it in moderation. So it's a superfood, but it's also high in calories. Okay. And so just to give you a point of reference, if you put 3.5 ounces of dark chocolate on a food scale, okay, and this is a nice amount. Yes, it comes in at around 600 calories. Okay. And so for somebody, just to kind of give you another point of reference, somebody who only needs 1,200 calories a day, that's half their calories. So you don't want to do that. And so hence, so to get the max benefit without the weight gain, you want to limit it to about one, maybe even 1.5 ounces per day. So it's a superfood, but also you want to be mindful because they are high in calories. So you want to be careful with that as well. All right. And so I see people tuning in. So as you are tuning in, please feel free to say hello to me, chime in, tell me where you're tuning in from, and ask any questions or comments as we're talking about dark chocolate. And so a second benefit of dark chocolate is brain function. Okay, so brain function. So dark chocolate may improve cognition, may prevent memory loss, and boost your mood. Okay, powerful. Probably never even made those connections. And so research is showing that chocolate stimulates neural activity in areas in the brain associated with pleasure and reward. Hence, decreases stress and improves your mood. So additionally, cocoa contains a stimulant substance like caffeine. It does have a little bit of caffeine and theobromine. Okay, Google it. Theobromine, and which is key is a key reason why we can improve brain function in the short term. Okay. And the amount of caffeine is very small. It is present, but it is very small compared to coffee and unlikely to keep you awake at night. It does have some caffeine in it. It also has some saturated fats in it too. So you also want to make sure that you have it in moderation. So cocoa may also significantly improve cognitive function in elderly people, okay, with mental impairment. So there's a lot of benefits there, a lot of benefits there. And so I'm going to post, let's see here. Surprise. Ah, hi, Krista. Good to see you on. She says she is surprised. And it is. It's a lot of, I like to share things that people don't normally think about with certain foods because we know the obvious. We know the obvious. And so new info. So were you aware that dark chocolate may improve cognitive function? If that is related to any form of cognition, any type of brain improvements. And so I will repeat though, to get the maximum health benefit without gaining the weight and causing other problems, you want to limit it to about 1 to 1.5 ounces per day. Okay. And so let's go into the third benefit of dark chocolate, which is it improves blood sugar levels. I know most people will say, really? So improves blood sugar levels. So dark chocolate could improve blood sugar levels and reduce the risk of developing diabetes. So eating dark chocolate or eating chocolate every day doesn't sound like the best way to prevent diabetes. However, eating sugar or eating sweets is not the number one or the only, it's not what causes diabetes. There's a lot more that goes into the picture of what causes diabetes. But studies are showing that healthy amounts of dark chocolate that's rich in cacao could actually improve how the body metabolizes or breaks down glucose. Okay. And so dark chocolate can also reduce insulin resistance, which is improving insulin sensitivity, which is another common risk factor for many diseases like heart disease and diabetes, okay, insulin resistance. And then most dark chocolate is very high in flavonoids. Remember, we said that's the good stuff that we get from plants, particularly a subtype of that called flavonols that ends with an L. And so that is associated with a lower risk of heart disease. And remember, this is going to relax the arteries, improve the blood flow, reduce that friction of blood flow, which is going to lower your blood pressure. So it kind of all flows together. And so some studies suggest that dark chocolate or cocoa consumption is associated with a lower risk of insulin resistance, high blood pressure in adults. So again, in moderation and as part of an overall healthy eating pattern. So it's not just this one thing. There's no one magic bullet food or drink. I wish it was. I would have it in my kitchen if it was. But it's all about your total lifestyle. And this one thing, which we're talking about dark chocolate today, is part of the overall healthy eating lifestyle. Okay? That's important. All righty, so let's talk about this. So, are you thinking about adding some dark chocolate to your life? So, if you're not somebody who really thought about dark chocolate, or maybe you thought it was not something good to add, again, in moderation, you want to, because you don't want the unwanted weight gain, which is going to introduce another set of health problems. So, you want to limit it to about one, maybe even 1.5 ounces per day, depending on your body and your body needs. All right. So the takeaway message, what's the whole point of it all? So the common question, is there a difference between cacao and cocoa? Okay. And so as a shopper, you can tell how much cocoa liqueur, remember that's that pure cocoa mass, is in dark chocolate or in that dark chocolate bar by looking for the percent cacao. So that's you're going to see that on dark chocolate. And that figure is on the label. And so and cacao is a raw form of chocolate. So while cocoa is the heated version of cacao. Okay, so cacao is more of in its natural state. Okay, and so the difference: cacao is higher in protein, fiber, magnesium, and iron. So it's higher in some nutrients. And cocoa, without the added sugar, is nutritious and still has some nutritional value, but it's also cheaper. Okay, so it's also a little bit cheaper. And so, but it's not as high in nutritional value as the cacao. And so your best bet for choosing a bar or some type of dark chocolate is you 70% or higher cacao. Okay, 70%. So that's really where the health benefit begins, when it's 70%. Now, I will say lower percentages generally will have added sugar or more of the unhealthy fats. Okay, however, the higher the percentage, the more bitter the chocolate is. So depending on if you're somebody who's coming from milk chocolate, going straight from milk chocolate to 70% cacao, it's a big drastic change. So depending on your palate, it may not seem favorable. So you may want to transition. So a lot of times I will recommend 60% cacao when they are baking with them, like maybe the dark chocolate chips, just to kind of ease into it because it's not as bitter. But yet you are getting some health benefits, of course, not as much as 70%, but kind of to build your palate and then ease into that 70, 72%. If you go any higher, then it's going to become very, very bitter. and so you want to train your palate, okay? And so remember, the sugar, the salt, and the caffeine are all additives, and so the body is able to adapt. Okay, so the mind is a different story. Okay, so it's really about preference. Okay, but ease into it. And even though the quality dark chocolate, or even though quality dark chocolate is a better choice than milk chocolate, it's still chocolate. So that means it's still high in calories and it's still high in saturated fats. So that's why, and the saturated fats is what's directly linked to cholesterol levels. So you want to make sure that you are doing it in moderation. So that's where that one, maybe even 1.5 ounces, max that out a day if you're even having it every day. Okay. So moderation, moderation, moderation. And so I invite each of you, I have a recipe that it's brownies made with the dark chocolate, but it's also made with black beans as well. And so I will invite you all to join my mailing list as one of the benefits of one of my Valentine's present to you all. I am going to feature this recipe in my newsletter that comes out every week on Thursdays. And you can go to actionchoices.com, and then you can scroll down to the very bottom, and there's an area where you can actually join the mailing list. And so you will have access to this recipe and many, many more, much more recipes, as well as information. And I call this sweet indulgences with a purpose, okay? And meaning that you can get the health benefits. So you're still having your brownies or many other types of sweets, but yet you are still getting nutritional value, okay? My son, he loves them. And if you don't tell anybody the black beans are in there, they don't even know that they're in there. I do recommend using a higher quality of the cocoa, okay? And so I recommend a high quality like the Ghirardelli as one, like the premium baking, because that will improve the taste, that will improve the texture. And I have seen a big difference when I went from like the Hershey's cocoa, which is one we typically buy, and changing it to the Ghirardelli. Okay, so Ghirardelli. So that's a definitely will change the taste of it and just kind of make it have a different texture and not as dense. So they're very easy to make. They make like 9 servings. They're about 275 calories. per serving, but again, you're going to have a whole host of health benefits. Okay, not just added sugar in the brownie. So definitely good dessert, good snack. All right. And so I thank each of you for tuning in. I thank each of you for tuning in. So hopefully you're excited about the recipe, and then we're going to have a few more. Always like to give out recipes throughout the year, so it's always some benefits on being on the mailing list, just to get some good nutrition information to help you go through your life and make changes, set low goals for yourself each week when you hear the topic of that's being featured on that week. So I thank each and every one of you for tuning in. This concludes what I have for your weekly dose of nutrition news for your mind and your body and your soul. Thank you for listening. Remember, this year 2023, it's all about creating a lifestyle of self-care. And so next week we're going to continue on the Fall in Love with Your Heart series, Heart Health Month, and we're going to talk about blood pressure. Okay, this is something that is definitely near and dear and personal to me. So those who know me and follow me know that I have high blood pressure, and how weight impacts your blood pressure, and tips on how to reduce stress on your heart. Okay, so bye for now, and I look forward to seeing you next week, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.